What is going on, everybody? How are you all doing out there? I hope this video is finding you well. Welcome or welcome back to Get Right On In. My name is Andrew, for those of you who do not know, and today I am just going to be doing the popular opinions tag. This tag was originally created by Abby Salter, so I will definitely make sure to have her video linked down in the description box, but she created this one because there has been an unpopular opinions tag floating around for a few years, and she wanted to throw out some more positivity into the community, so I thought that this would be the first of the two that I would do in the popular/unpopular opinions tag. So now with all of that out of the way, without further ado, let's get right on in. So the first question here is just to state a popular book or series that you love, and I'm gonna be super basic and just go with Harry Potter, just because honestly I was 8 years old when that series came out, so I was like the target audience throughout the entire production of those books, and it has shaped me so much, I feel, as a human, as a writer, as everything. So Harry Potter will always be one of my favorite series and one that I will cherish for the rest of time. Next up is to name an underhyped book or series that you wish had some more love, and for this one I'm actually going to go with Animorphs, just because when Harry Potter did come out, at least at my school and where I was, Animorphs was like the big thing, and I have talked about that a couple of times on this channel before, but I wish that it was still popular, because especially as someone who literally has like 48 of the 54 books and can't really find the ones that I need, like I get frustrated and I just wish that they were still in production, because if I go to eBay just to get the books that I don't have, I have to buy like the entire series, and I have most of the series. Like if I only had like 4 or 5 books and needed 50 of them, then I would totally just buy someone's complete series, but I don't. I only need like 1, 19, 38, and then the last 4. So I wish that this series still had some popularity, at least enough to where it was still in circulation. But as of now, I guess I just should be thankful and grateful that I was alive at the height of its popularity. Next up is going to be a romance that I love, and truthfully, I'm not usually big on love triangles or one true pairings or anything like that, just because, I don't know, I'm not. But for this, I am actually gonna go with Eddie and Susanna Dean from the Dark Tower series, just because those two beautifully broken souls came together and did so much for each other, and they rounded out that series so well, and they had such a strong relationship throughout the entire thing that I just have to go with them, because I feel like as individuals, the two of them probably thought that they would never find that one person for themselves, and then they found each other through some shenanigans, yes, but they just did so much for each other, and just especially with the way that Eddie was just pushing Susanna around in her wheelchair for the entire thing. I just love them, and I love that series, and I love it all so much. Next up is to list my favorite genre, as well as a genre that I would like to read more in, and my favorite one probably shouldn't be a surprise, but it is fantasy. I do love a good fantasy book, even though I also feel like fantasy is just as easy to screw up as it is to nail sometimes, because I don't love every fantasy book for sure. But a popular genre that I would love to read more in is actually going to be thrillers, because I love a good thriller, and I don't really do thrillers that often, but that is actually the next topic on my Readers versus Writers series that I have going on. I've got Chad Nicholas and Lyra Bat coming on to discuss the differences between horror and thriller, just because I feel like it's sometimes similar to sci-fi and fantasy, how they get kind of clumped together even though they're completely different genres. So I would say that I read more horror than thriller, but I would like to get into more direct thriller type books. Next up is to name a popular or beloved character, or a character that I think needs more love, and I believe that this character kind of falls into both categories, but I am going with Kaladin Stormblessed from the Stormlight Archives, just because it's not that people people don't love him. It's just that people always talk about Adolin. Adolin Colin, blah, blah, blah. And I just, like, everybody loves Adolin. And I don't know how you can read the Stormlight Archives and not love Kaladin more than Adolin. So I'm out here just to once again defend my man and talk about Kaladin, just to say, all of you fans of the Stormlight Archives, please just show Kaladin some more love, especially after Rhythm of War. Like, oh my gosh, he went through so much in that. Like, just give the guy a hug. Next up is an auto-buy author, which kind of is also a little bit rough for me to answer, just because if you have followed me around for a while, or at least just these last couple of months, or if you know me personally in general, I move around a lot, so sometimes it's actually pretty hard for me to purchase books, because every single time I purchase a book, I literally have to think about how it's going to fit the next time I move. So I tend to just try to get books from the libraries as much as I can, so I am gonna answer, I guess, a little bit more on like an auto-read author versus an auto-buy author. But as far as buying a particular series, there is this series called the Alastair Stone Chronicles, which is an independent series written by R.L. King. I am pretty inclined to purchase those books. So I am on number 12, I think. She's on like 26, so I'm way behind, but I do enjoy actually purchasing those physical books when I read them. But at the library, or if I'm really considering buying some books, I'm definitely down for some Stephen King, for some Brandon Sanderson, for some Joe Abercrombie. There really is like a whole huge list, but it's kind of hard for me to answer who I would just automatically buy. Whenever I get a house that I'm going to be sticking in for a while, and whenever I get a bookcase, then I'm sure I will have a more solid answer for this, but as of now, there you go. Next up is a popular book trope that I love reading about, and I honestly have to go with Chosen One adventures. I love random people living their random lives with no idea that they have some random calling that's just about to snatch them out of their life and put them on this epic journey. So I love anytime someone just goes from ordinary to extraordinary in a blink. I mean, obviously I like it when they have challenges and growth and all of that, but I do love me a good Chosen One journey, so that is what I am choosing for this. Next up is a popular series that I am excited to read, and I do actually have to say Mistborn for this, just because I did read Final Empire in New Zealand a few years ago. I started The Well of Ascension as well, but I was traveling and I had gotten those books from the library, so I did end up having to turn The Well of Ascension back in before I got to finish it. So that is currently a book that I have in my DNF pile, and it bothers me. So I would like to be able to finish out that whole trilogy, and thanks to Jessie at The Bookish Mom for gifting it to me for Christmas. I still haven't even unwrapped the packaging on it, but I am really excited to finally finish that series. But apart from that, I also would really like to get into the Outlander series, just because my now former roommate, that used to be one of her favorites, or probably still is one of her favorites, but she had recommended it to me a couple of times while we lived together. I've seen bits and pieces of the TV show, but it does seem like a series I would be interested in, so I would love to carve out some time to get around to it someday. And last up is a popular book or film where I love this story in both formats, and for this one I actually have to go with Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. I just read that book a couple of months ago before I left Monterey, which is where the TV show takes place, if any of you have seen it. The book itself takes place in Australia, but that was literally the only change and difference I felt between the book and the movie. I really thought the TV show did such an incredible job casting that, following the plot, everything about it, and when I read the book, I was actually pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed the book. So Big Little Lies, I love you in book format, I love you in film format, I love you just in general. You make me want to read more Liane Moriarty, and perhaps she will become an auto-buy author for me just based on that. I don't know, but for now, that is my answer for this. And that's also going to take care of all of these questions. I love Abby Salter for the fact that she put this out into the community like this, because I am always about promotion and positivity. So thank you, Abby, and again, if any of you have not seen her original video or her channel or anything, I will have that all linked in the description box. At this point, I really feel like I'm one of maybe like 20 booktubers who hasn't done this tag, so I don't really know who to tag for this, but if you have yet to do this tag for yourself and you would like to, tag, you're it. Thank you all so much much for watching today, and if you did enjoy this video, I would love it if you consider giving it a little thumbs up, as well as potentially consider pressing on that little subscribe button to join me on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and sometimes on Sundays for bookish and writerly and entertainment-y-esque content just like this. In the meantime, I hope you all have a day just as beautiful as you, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!